The gas station oozed a tired, worn light into the sweeping desert night, its neon sign flickering weakly against the vast, uncaring dark. The concrete forecourt stretched out like a battlefield, cracked and scarred, with old oil stains baked deep into the surface by decades of merciless sun. Inside, the air was a heavy mix of stale coffee, dust, and the faint ghost of gasoline, a scent that clung to the walls, to the counter, to the very bones of the building. Behind that battered counter sat Raymond Ray Callahan, a book resting loosely in his calloused hands. His weathered face was a living map of 70 long, unforgiving years. Every crease, every furrow on his skin told a story: battles fought, brothers lost, dreams surrendered long before this lonely gas station became his chosen refuge. His knuckles, rough and scarred from work and war alike, lay loosely over the book's spine. But beneath their stillness, a current of readiness ran deep, coiled tight like a spring. Old instincts never truly died. They slept lightly, waiting. The bell above the door jangled, slicing through the thick quiet like a knife. 5 figures spilled inside, bringing with them a storm of tension. Their leader, Shane Kincaid, moved with the casual arrogance of a man who lived to break things. His eyes, sharp, scanning, Means swept the room like a predator. Behind him trailed Dusty, tall and wiry, his mouth fixed in a permanent, smug half-smile. Then came Brock, built like a battering ram, his massive hands tattooed with jagged letters that formed no discernible word. Following was Cole, young and reckless, chewing gum with a feverish energy that screamed of insecurity. And last was Vince, quieter than the others, his restless eyes cataloging exits and blind spots with the twitchy precision of a man used to violence. Ray sized them up instantly the way a man does when he's seen too much of the world to ever let his guard down. Wars taught you that. Not all battles happen with uniforms and flags. Some started with a look, a slouch, the twitch of a lip. Kincaid swaggered up to the counter, his fingers drumming a slow, mocking rhythm on the chipped formica. "Evenin', old man," he drawled. "How about you open that register for us?" Ray lifted his eyes from the book, unhurried, steady. They were a cold, unforgiving gray, the color of steel forged in fire. He stared straight into Kincaid's smirk without a flicker of fear. "You boys sure you want to do this?" Ray asked, his voice low, almost conversational. Dusty let out a sharp bark of laughter. "What's that supposed to mean?" Ray let the book close with a soft, deliberate slap, setting it down on the counter with a gentleness that somehow made the air tighten even more. "Means I've seen your kind before," he said. They didn't walk away smiling. Kincaid's grin faltered slightly. He leaned in closer, trying to intimidate with proximity. Ray leaned back ever so slightly, gauging every heartbeat in the room, the way a fighter sizes up a man's first move before a punch is even thrown. "You don't know a damn thing about us," Kincaid hissed. Ray's gaze never wavered. "I know enough." A dangerous silence blossomed between them. Cole shifted from foot to foot, his hand dipping casually but not casually enough toward his belt. Ray caught the movement. A knife, most likely. Kids these days like steel. Ray's own hand slid under the counter, brushing the cool, reassuring shape of an old friend, his revolver. A relic from another life, one soaked in places and memories he rarely spoke of, even to himself. Kincaid's voice lowered, roughened with the edge of a threat. "We're not asking, Grandpa." The words seemed to thicken the very air in the station. The quiet hummed with tension, so raw you could almost hear it crackling like static. Ray shifted his weight slightly, grounding himself. "You don't want to do this," Ray said, voice low and sharp enough to cut flesh. Dusty laughed again, but there was a brittleness to it now, a tremor he couldn't quite hide. "He's bluffing," Dusty sneered. But Kincaid didn't laugh. He felt it, that subtle but undeniable ripple that happens when the supposed prey turns out to be something else entirely. Something dangerous. "You got a gun under there?" Kincaid asked, his voice quieter now. Ray didn't blink. "I got more than a gun," he said. "I've got nothing left to lose." The room froze. Time seemed to pause between heartbeats. Cole's fingers twitched again, a nervous, stupid move. Under the counter, Ray's thumb eased the revolver's hammer back with a soft click that seemed to echo through the gas station like a gunshot. "Don't," Ray warned, his voice now a low growl filled with the certainty of death. Vince shifted uneasily, his eyes flicking from Ray's steady hand to Kincaid's uncertain stance. Vince knew. He could see it clearly now, the wolf that lay just beneath the old man's skin, hidden beneath years of pretending to be harmless. Kincaid's swagger cracked, just a hairline fracture, but enough. "This ain't worth it," he muttered, jaw tightening. Brock stepped forward, fist clenching. "What?" "We're just gonna walk." "We're walking." Kincaid turned on him with a snap. Now he barked. Grumbling, seething, but ultimately beaten, they turned and shuffled toward the door. Cole lingered for half a second longer, his youthful arrogance warring with the primal fear now clawing at his spine. His eyes met Ray's. He saw it, the stillness, the aim, the dead certainty of a man who had outlived every threat ever thrown at him. The bell jangled again as they left, boots scuffing angry, embarrassed tracks across the concrete. A moment later, the roaring engines of their motorcycles screamed into the night, a retreat rather than a victory. Ray waited until the last echo had bled into the desert silence. Only then did he exhale long and steady. With practiced care, he thumbed the hammer back down, returning the revolver to its hidden cradle under the counter, an extension of himself, like the old scars hidden beneath his faded flannel shirt. Scars earned in jungles and deserts, in places where peace was nothing but a cruel joke whispered between mortar shells and blood-stained memories. Ray picked up his book again, his fingers steady now, unshaken. The pages seemed less important somehow, a simple thing in a complicated world. The desert outside pressed itself against the windows, vast and silent. For a moment, the gas station floated in a pocket of peace. But Ray knew better. Peace was a liar. It was the thin breath before the next storm, a whisper before the next battle. And when it came, and it would come, he'd be ready. Always ready.